Welcome once again, gentle folks. Thank you again for joining me for another video for your League on predictions. I hope you had a wonderful game week last week and you managed to rake in some winnings. We're going to get straight into it this week, and we're going to start on Friday with Troyes versus Oxier and Troyes. What's the word pronounces? Anyways, let's get straight into it. For this game now here, I'm expecting Troyes to win. Expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying 2-1 here in favor of Troyes, and on the handicap system, or to take a bet on the handicap system based on my predicted score, then I have to take a draw here. Alright, so recapping predictions for Troyes versus Oxier, I'm expecting Troyes to win, and I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Troyes, and on the handicap system based on my scoreline, I'm going with the draw. Alright, so those are my predictions for this particular game, and now we're going to move on to our next game, which is IASIO versus Strasbourg. IASIO versus Strasbourg here. Sorry about that. I'm expecting Strasbourg to win this one. Expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me, 2-1 here in favor of Strasbourg. And on the handicap system, based on my scoreline as usual, then I'm going to have to go with a draw here. Alright, and so Strasbourg to win by a goal, but we're going to go for a draw here. Alright, so recapping predictions for IASIO versus Strasbourg. I'm expecting Strasbourg to win, expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Strasbourg, and on the handicap system, I'm going with a draw, as I explained to you earlier. Alright, so that was it for this game, and now we're going to move on to the next game, and the next game is Angers versus Lens. And for Angers versus Lens, in this game, I'm expecting here Lens have been doing very well since the start of the season. I'm expecting them to continue to do so. I'm expecting them to win this one here. Both teams to score, I'm going to say no. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying here Lens will win this 1-0. Alright, in terms of the handicap system, if you want to go ahead and take a game and take a bet on the handicap system, we go for Lens to win by a goal, but we're going to take a draw here, alright? Because on the handicap system here, if you have them to win by a goal, this means that they're winning the game by a goal. That means they'll start a goal behind. So that means if they're coming on a score and win the game 1-0, it means that it would be a draw on the handicap system, alright? So that's the reason why we're taking a draw here. Alright, so recapping predictions for IASIO versus Uns. Lens versus Uns, sorry. I'm expecting Lens to win. I'm expecting both teams not to score. Predicted, well, in terms of my combination bet, that is before I get the predicted scoreline, I'm expecting both teams to not to score and either to win. In terms of my scoreline, I'm saying 1-0 in favor of Uns, and on the handicap system, I'm taking a draw. Alright, so those are my predictions for Angers versus Uns. So now we're going to move on to our next game here on Sunday, which is Lorient versus PSG. Alright, Lorient versus PSG, and for this game now, here I'm expecting both teams to score. Well, I'm going to PSG to take care of business. Both teams to score. Expecting PSG to win this one. And in terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying 2-1 here in favor of PSG. On the handicap system, as you know, we're going to have to take this one as a draw based on my predicted scoreline. Alright, PSG to win by a goal, but we're going to take a draw here. Alright, so recapping predictions, I'm expecting recapping predictions for Lorient versus PSG. I'm expecting PSG to win, expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination, I'd say either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of PSG, and on the handicap system, we're taking a draw. Alright, based on our predicted scoreline. Alright, so those are the predictions for that particular game, and now we move on to Clermont versus Montpellier. Montpellier, they've been having an awful season so far, apart from that one maybe not one highlight, but that game that they won, I think by 7-0, 7-1, something of the sort. They have been really off from ever since. So, in terms of predictions for this game now, I'm going to go here and I'm going to say this game should end in a draw, but I wouldn't be surprised if Clermont beat them. Alright, expecting it to end in a draw, both teams to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm going to say 2-all. If you would like to take something on the handicap system, I suggest you lean on the side of Clermont and you go with Clermont to win by a goal here, but instead of taking them to win by a goal, you take a draw here. Alright, so that's what you do. Alright, otherwise you could come ahead and you could take Clermont to lose this game by no more than a goal. Alright, so recapping predictions for Clermont versus Montpellier, I'm expecting this one to end in a draw, expecting both teams to score. Predicted scoreline 2-all. In terms of the handicap system, I would go with Clermont for a draw. Right? If you want to take a bet on the handicap system, that is. Nice versus Brest. Nice versus Brest now, this should be an interesting matchup. It should be, I believe. I'm expecting Nice to win though. I'm expecting both teams not to score. In terms of a combination bet, you go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying here that we're going to have a 1-0 victory here for Nice. And in terms of a combination bet, I go with Nice to win by a goal, but we're gonna go with a draw here. Alright, based on my predicted scoreline. Recapping predictions for Nice versus Brest. I'm expecting Nice to win. Expecting both teams not to score. In terms of a combination, I'd say either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline 1-0 in favor of Nice, and on the handicap system, I'm going to take a draw for this game. Alright, based on my predicted scoreline. Alright, so those are the predictions for Nice versus Brest, and now we're going to move on to our next game, which is Stade Reims versus Nantes. And for this game now here, this one should be an interesting one, and so it's going to be close. Close in the sense that I don't think we're going to have a lot of goals, maybe about 1 or 2, but the Nantes playing in Europe this week, and Stade Reims not playing, then might have a bearing on this result, and so therefore I am going to take a draw here. Both teams not to score, so yes, I'm looking at a goalless draw. Yeah, so 0-0. If you want to go on the handicap system and take something on the handicap system, I'd suggest you go ahead and you take Nantes at +1. Alright, so recapping predictions for Stade Reims versus Nantes. I'm expecting here this one to end in a draw. Alright, and this one to end in a draw, and both teams not to score. Draw, both teams not to score. Predicted scoreline 0-0. If you want to go on the handicap system and take a bet, I suggest you err on the side of Nantes and go with them for a +1. Alright, those are my predictions for Stade Reims versus Nantes. We move on to Toulouse versus Monaco. And for Toulouse versus Monaco, now we're going to have this game here. In this game, we're going to have I'm expecting Monaco to take care of business, but expecting Toulouse to give them some challenge. There shouldn't be smooth sailing. Expecting them to win this one 3-1. In the cap system, you take Monaco to win this one by a goal. Recapping predictions for Monaco versus Toulouse. I'm expecting Monaco to win, expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1, and in favor of Monaco, that is. And for the handicap system, I'll go with Monaco to win by a goal. Alright, and so we're going to skid out and over to our next game, and our next game is Lille versus Rennes. One of these teams playing in Europe this week as well, so let's see how the results pan out. Alright, so for Lille versus Rennes, I'm expecting here I'm going to pick Lille to win, both teams to score, combination bet, either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Lille. On the handicap system, based on my predicted scoreline, I'm going to take a draw. Alright, so Lille to win by a goal, but we're going to take a draw here. Alright, so recapping predictions for Lille versus Rennes. I'm expecting Lille to win, expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I would say either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Lille, and on the handicap system, I'd go with a +1. Which is a draw, not a plus. I'll go with a draw because this is a three-way handicap, that is, mind you folks. Three-way handicap way, but the base here for this three-way handicap is Lille to win by a goal, but based on my predictions, I'm going to have to take a draw here. Alright, so I've explained it in other videos, so you can look at this, and I might explain it in some of the previous videos that I have done. Not might, I have. Alright, and so those are my predictions for Lille versus Rennes, and ensure that you're taking notes, by the way, though, folks. And so we're heading on to the end of this, and this is our last game for this game week, and this game is Marseille versus Lyon. And for Marseille versus Lyon, this game now, this one should be an interesting matchup, I do believe. Yeah, but I'm expecting Marseille to take care of business here. Both teams to score. In terms of a combination bet, I would go ahead and say either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of Marseille on the handicap system. I'd go ahead and I'll take Marseille to win this one by a goal. Recapping predictions for Marseille versus Lyon. I'm expecting Marseille to win. Expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of Marseille, and on the handicap system, I'll go ahead and take Marseille to win this one by a goal as well. Alright, so those are my predictions for your French Ligue 1 this week. I hope you're making notes during this video, and as usual, thank you for watching. Continue to watch my videos, subscribe to my channel, and ensure that whenever you're subscribed, you click the notification bell, so that as soon as these videos comes out, then you'll get them. You'll be among the first to watch these videos. Thank you for your support, and happy betting, happy winning. All right, have a great weekend.